Hello everyone, back tuning into today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next week to 10 days. For today's second video, which can take us very close to the end of April. In fact, we'll be able to extend out into the early part of May with the extended GFS and also ECM ensembles. We've just released JMA Friday, and overall the long-range output in terms of the Japanese and CFS V2 models seem to be indicating quite a lot of high pressure dominance for the next 4 weeks. That takes us into the middle part of May, of course. I'm going to go for the shorter range output very shortly, and you're going to see differences between the shorter range and the long range. With the shorter range today looking a lot more unsettled starting next week. So we have got some problems here in terms of disagreements between the longer range and shorter range output, and I'll show you what the shorter range stuff is saying very, very shortly. Just say that we're in the last 48 hours of our competition. We've teamed up with metcheck.co.uk Weather Instrumentation. We are giving away the Climate CM 9088 temperature and humidity forecast station. It's worth £50. It's a fantastic price. It'll tell you indoor and outdoor temperature and humidity, as well as air pressure, sunrise, sunset, and also moon phase times. So this can be yours, or it can be yours for free. Somebody will be winning this on Sunday. Each Sunday we'll be giving this away. So you've only got a couple of days to enter now. We are up to nearly 200 entrants. We're closing in on 200. That's around where we got to last year, I think, with last year's competition, which up to then was the biggest prize draw that we've done. So this is going to be a record, I think, undoubtedly. By the time you get through to Sunday, we will have a record number of entrants. Huge response. Thanks so much to all of you for your response to this competition. You do still have plenty of time to enter. We've got a couple of days, but don't leave it too much on, because it is getting towards the end of the towards the closing stage, I suppose, of the competition. So if you would like to have a chance of winning this, then all you need to do is email your name and local sort of town or city and country to gazweatherviz@gmail.com, or fill out the contact form on the competitions page at gazweatherviz.com. You'll be entered into the prize draw. You've got to be in it to win it. As I say, we're closing on 200 entrants now, so a big response. But somebody's going to win this, so it might as well be you. It could just as easily be you as anybody else. So get emailing, and you'll be entered into a prize draw on Sunday. We will be giving this away courtesy of gazweatherviz.com and also MetCheck Weather Instrumentation. All runners-up are going to get an exclusive 15% off discount code on all items at metcheck.co.uk, which will last for a month. I'll give you that exclusive discount code on Sunday when we do the winners video. So you can buy this product for yourself, or of course you can buy any other products at metcheck.co.uk Weather Instrumentation, and you'll get 15% off purely because you've entered the prize draw at gazweatherviz.com. So everyone's going to be a winner. But only one person, of course, can win the climate, temperature and humidity forecast station. And if you want to be in it to win it, then you have to get emailing. So good luck to everybody. Right, we're going to start off with the Central England temperature, and it's on its way up. So this is where we're currently sitting provisional up to the 18th of April, up to yesterday, standing at 7.8, and anomaly very close to average, really just half a degree above average. Of course, it's going to rise more over the Easter weekend. We're going to be in some very warm weather over the next few days. So it's going to take off, I think, in the days ahead. And I suspect by the time we get through to the early part of next week, we'll probably see this somewhere in the mid-8s. However, if we get this cooler phase of weather coming along later next week, then the temperature may well start to fall back again a little bit. I certainly don't think this month is going to be as warm as the last two. So we have February coming out at 6.7, which was an anomaly of 3 degrees above average. March coming out at 7.8, an anomaly of 2 degrees above average. Now the CET is likely to be above both of those. It will be above 6.7, very likely to be above 7.8 as well. That's where we are right now. But the anomaly to average, the deviation, if you like, I don't think we'll be talking about a 2-3 degree temperature deviation this month. I think it'll be much closer to kind of like 1 degree above average, so a much more sensibly above average type month, if you like. So moving on to the upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles from the GFS model, you can see the change that the shorter range output is now going for. It is quite a dramatic change, actually, if we get through towards the closing stages of the month. Looking at Doncaster today, someone's asked me to have a look at Doncaster. So the red line here is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Doncaster. Obviously, we're way above average at the moment, and we're going to stay there throughout the Easter period. So it's going to remain pretty warm with the upper air temperatures, at least until around Tuesday or Wednesday next week. But we are then signaling quite a drop in the upper air temperatures. We're not talking about anything desperately cold, I have to say, but certainly a significant drop in temperature taking place towards month's end compared to where we are right now. And it looks like that drop in temperature then continues through into the opening days of May. That's that period just there. And also more unsettled as well. You can see that from the precipitation spikes. So, I mean, for the next few days, certainly over the rest of Easter into the early part of next week, completely dry. But through next week, we have more and more precipitation spikes coming back. So as we get through to the start of May, first week of May, this period just here actually looking quite unsettled. Now, bear in mind, when I say we've released JMA Friday, and it's not showing this at all, actually. So, we have got this big disagreement today between what the long, what the long-range JMA and CFS-V2 models are showing, in terms of wanting to keep a lot of high pressure instances going, albeit it's just a few hints of a slightly more unsettled spell around week 2, which is going to be the closing days of April into beginning days of May. So they do look a little bit more unsettled around then, but certainly nowhere near as unsettled as this. So as I say, we have got this discrepancy between the long range model output and the shorter range model output, which is making for a very complicated week to 10 day update today. Temperature anomalies from the 19th to 27th of April, warmer than average for the UK and Ireland. Most parts of Europe are coming out warmer than average too, particularly warm across Scandinavia. We're talking about anomalies to average there, up to 10 degrees above average. It is colder in the southeast of Europe, going down to the Middle East. And it's also colder than average around Spain and Portugal. So southern Europe cooler, northern Europe is warmer in the week ahead. Precipitation anomalies generally on the dry and average side. We have still got several more days high pressure dominated weather to go before any change to unsettled weather might develop later next week. So from the 19th to the 27th of April, we're generally talking about drier than average temperature anomalies. So this is how the GFS is looking for Bank Holiday Monday. High pressure hanging on, low pressure trying to get in from off the Atlantic, but high pressure continues to be sitting over to the eastern country. We're still drawing up these southerly southeast winds. It'll be another warm day. Might be more cloud around. We might just wobble in the atmosphere enough to produce a few showers, but overall a lot of dry weather away from the north and west of Scotland anyway. There comes some outbreaks of rain. But through the course of next week, look at these areas of low pressure gradually moving in towards the country from the southwest. It may take a little while. This is Wednesday. Still with those low pressures generally out to the west-southwest of us. By the time we get through to Thursday, clearly the low pressure is starting to develop and move in. So turning more unsettled through the second half of next week. Wet and windy weather moving in off the Atlantic. In fact, this is Friday, a week away, looking unsettled. Low pressure out to the west, bringing a strong westerly wind, and there will be outbreaks of rain too. We keep these areas of low pressure going then as we move up towards day 10. So we're coming to the closing stages of April. Of course, this is day 10, Monday the 29th of April. It is still looking quite unsettled, particularly so across the northern parts of the country. Into the opening days of May, the high pressure pulls out to the west of us and we turn the wind into the north. So obviously that's going to be quite a cool start to May. Could bring showers down the eastern side of the country. Western areas, close out ridge of high pressure will be drier. Moving further into the first week of May, looks rather cool, rather unsettled. Notice the high pressure getting itself back to Scandinavia again, pulling in these easterly winds once more. So it looks rather showery, and I would have thought pretty cool there as we go through the first week of May. And then this is how the GFS parallel run is looking. So again, we've got these southerly winds, southeasterly winds on Monday, mainly dry and warm. Low pressure is sort of out to the south and west of us on Tuesday, keeping it mainly dry, I would have thought, through the first half of next week. Then in the middle and second half of next week, these areas of low pressure reinvigorate themselves and head into towards the UK, so it turns more unsettled through the second half of next week. Showers or longer spells of rain breaking through, and temperatures taking quite a dip as well. Heading up towards day 10, looking rather unsettled. High pressure's to our south, low pressure is to our northwest. We're bringing a westerly flow, so I would have thought that's bringing sunshine and April showers more than anything. That's the 30th of April, quite a deep area of low pressure winding itself up over the top of the UK there. So obviously, again, that's going to be very unsettled with showers, long spells, rain, maybe quite windy as well. There's some tightly packed ice bars. Could see gusts of wind go to gale force if that was to come off. Into the early part of May, this is May Day, this is the 1st of May actually, into the extended range now of course. Low pressures as a trough is over the top of the UK in the 500 millibar flow. Have got a northern blocking signal up towards Greenland and Iceland as well, so looking very cool and unsettled. Bear in mind there's nothing like this showing up within the JMA and CFS long range models, nothing like this showing up at all today. Then we go further through the first week of May, just looking rather cool, rather unsettled and rather showery as well. That was the GFS parallel run. This is the ECMWF operational run. So once again, Monday still mainly dry under high pressure, bringing up those warm winds from the south or southeast. Low pressure's trying to get in on Tuesday, but generally it's being deflected and it's away to the south and west. So still a lot of dry weather and quite warm, I would have thought, on Tuesday. But on Wednesday and Thursday, this low pressure gets closer to us, bringing showers or maybe even some longer spells of rain as well. And then we said if we keep it increasingly or keep it unsettled as we go through the course next week. This is Saturday next week. It looks very wet and windy with the ECM on Saturday next week. That's the 27th of April. And then into the 28th of April, so the 28th, then to Monday, 29th, penultimate day of the month. Again, still looking cool and unsettled. There'd certainly be showers with that. And winds from the northwest, so it would be quite a lot cooler as well. So the GFS and the ECM look much more set to turn things unsettled through the course of next week and lasting potentially into the opening days of May as well. Let's have a look at the ECM ensembles via the Icelandic Met Office. These are the postage stamps from the ECM ensembles from the Icelandic Met Office. This is the options. These are the options that are on the table at day 10, which is the 29th of April, 240 hours away. So we've got 21 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure to our west and also to the north, and then a trough is over the UK, cool and unsettled and showery with those 21. It includes the control and the operational ECM run. The operational run is a run we were just looking at. Then there's another 18 that have high pressure to the south of the country and also to the northeast. Low pressure is out to west of the northwest. That's bringing a flat westerly flow. Probably still quite unsettled, but from a different route. That's more westerly. And then there's 12 that have high pressure just out to the west of the country. They're the most settled option, albeit probably quite cool, bring the wind in from a northwesterly direction, but they are a more settled option with those 12. And then go to 2 weeks away, which takes us through the first week of May. It takes us to the 4th of May, actually. So we have 16 members of the ECM ensembles with a bit of a northern blocking signal, high pressure sitting to our north between Iceland and Greenland. They're bringing in easterly winds, probably fairly dry. There's 13 that have high pressure out to the west of Ireland. Low pressure is away to the east of the country. They're unsettled and very cool potentially. They'd be bringing in the wind. They'd be bringing in the wind from the north, possibly even the northeast. There's 12 with high pressure out to west southwest. Low pressure is up to the north. They're bringing in westerly winds and they are a more settled option. And then there's 10 that just look very, very unsettled indeed for the 4th of May. Low pressure is over into the west of the UK. Jet streams coming through. They're the most unsettled option, those 10. They'd be bringing, of course, quite a lot of wet weather from off the Atlantic and not particularly mild temperatures either. So there are quite a lot of options that are on the table through the first week of May, but overall it does look as though it could be quite changeable. I think the opening days of May, albeit the exact scenario is still to be sorted out. However, going back to the CFS V2, this is the 700 millibar height anomaly from the CFS V2 for May. And look at that, it's going for a very high pressure dominated month indeed. And of course, this was showing up within Jan-May Friday today. Certainly the first half of May showing a lot of anticyclonic influences. It does continue through the month ahead forecast from the CFS V2 with high pressure just centred over the top of the UK. Probably very easterly month, bringing a lot of easterly winds, but very dry and fine, and you would have thought quite warm conditions during May. Temperature anomalies from the CFS-V2 are being forecast to be warmer than average for the UK and Ireland during May, and through most of Central and Northern Europe as well. And precipitation-wise, we are erring on the drier than average side as well. Hardly surprised with that big area of high pressure centred almost over the top of the country. And it does extend back into Scandinavia, so quite a dry signal up there too. So some real problems, actually, for May today. Or certainly from the opening days of May. Anyway, we've got this split between the longer range and the shorter range model output. The shorter range model output is looking very unsettled through the second half of next week in particular and lasting into the opening days of May. There's no sign of that at all really with the JMA and CFS V2. They do hint at the chance of something a little bit more showery, let's say, during week 2. Which is taking us through the closing days of April and into the start of May. But overall, they don't look anywhere near as unsettled as these GFS and ECMWF shorter range charts that we're looking at today. And then, of course, we've got the uncertainty in terms of the CFS V2 going for quite a strong anticyclonic signal for May itself, and looks like quite a high pressure dominated month if it comes off. May is always just about the hardest month to forecast for. May and September, they are always the two hardest months to forecast for. I'm not sure why that is, but it seems to be every year they have a high degree of uncertainty within them. Probably for various reasons. In September, that's around the time of the hurricane season, of course, the peak of the hurricane season around September. So that throws all of the model output into disarray when you've got these big storms churning around the tropical Atlantic and the models are trying to sort of forecast where they're going to go. I think the reason in May for it always seeming to have a high degree of uncertainty is probably due to the more slackness of the weather pattern. So you're rapidly losing that temperature contrast between the tropics and the poles that dries zonality through the winter, dries the westerlies through the winter. You're rapidly losing that. And so May is a month where the Northern Hemisphere's circulation pattern undergoes very dramatic fundamental changes from winter to summer. And during that transition, I suppose the models struggle to forecast what's going to happen there. So I think that's the reasons those 2 months, May and September, always seem to be the hardest months to forecast for. But this is starting as early as next week, this uncertainty. So it's the U word. Again, I know a lot of you watch out for it. The U word is back. Uncertainty is in. And we'll just have to wait for models to play this out over the next few days. What I would say is that, of course, we have had prolonged interruptions to high pressure over the past few weeks and months. Particularly the first half of March was very, very unsettled and quite stormy. But it always seems to be that no matter what happens, we find our way back to high pressure quite quickly. So if anything, despite the very unsettled looking charts that we've got within the GFS and ECM for next week, if anything, I would probably go more with the CFS and JMA, which are more anticyclonic, more high pressure dominated, because that is very much the trend, has been the trend since last spring and summer. But we shall see. Finally, just to say that if you're enjoying the video content at the moment, please can you consider becoming a patron for Gazweb. It's got 62 patrons so far. So hello and a big thank you to all of our 62 patrons for Gazweb. If you would like to become a patron for Gazweb, you just need to come to our Patreon page, sign up for a Patreon account, and you can pledge an ongoing monthly donation to Gazweb. It can be anything from $1 a month upwards. By doing that, you will become a patron for Gazweb. You'll get a mention in videos. We'll say thank you so much for your kindness. Unless you'd rather stay anonymous, and if so, just leave a little note when you sign up with Patreon. Alternatively, you can give a one-off donation through PayPal. So this is the Gazweb's PayPal page. This is really simply just come to this page, sign in to your PayPal account in the little login box. Just sign in and you can send over a one-off donation to Gazweb's. Again, you'll get a shout out in videos to say thank you very much for doing that. And however you do it, either through Patreon or through PayPal, you will get that mention. And of course you might want to mention for your business or for your website, but you can even go to your website and show it within the video content. So that's always a possibility as well. It's however you want to get that mention. And we're happy to do that for you. So big thanks to all the patrons, big thank you to all of donors. Guys, you're helping us to pay for our website and keep the content online. We're primarily ads funded, will be remaining, so just gives us an extra revenue stream as ad revenues are dropping year by year for various reasons, but I shan't go into right now. Right, so big thank you to everybody for doing that. So that's your videos for today. Busy weekend at Gazweb. Although it's Easter, we keep the content coming. So tomorrow we've got weekend forecast, have a week 10-day video update, and the CFS 6 months blockade just for fun, taking us from May through to October. On Sunday, very exciting day for Easter Sunday because it's Solar Sunday. So we're going to have a solar sort of based video for you on Sunday. We're going to be talking about Solar Cycle 24 and possibly a bit on Solar Cycle 25 as well. So that's coming up on Sunday. We're probably going to have a look at the May Day Bank Holiday weekend as well, because that's beginning to come into time frame of the GFS model now, extended part of the GFS anyway. And also, as I said, we're giving away that prize. Somebody will be winning the climate, temperature and forecast humidity, temperature and humidity forecast station. Somebody will be winning that on Sunday. So as I say, get entering if you would like to be in with a chance of winning that. And on Bank Holiday Monday, of course, we've got your historic weather video. And we're not going back too far at all for that one. We're only going back to winter of 2017-18. And we'll be looking, amongst other things within that winter, at the Beast from the East. Of course, that's going to be quite an interesting watch on Easter Bank Holiday Monday. But if you can't get back to the website before then, well, have a great Easter, whatever you're doing. The weather is going to be absolutely sublime and superb this Easter, so there can be no problems from a weather perspective. Have a great time. And if you are coming back to website to keep checking the updates, then we'll see you tomorrow. Right, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.